Okay, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm going to reintroduce myself. The name's George Adams, and today we're going to be hitting a bit of back, a little bit of biceps as well, just a little bit of touch on that at the end. I wanted to take you through my routine. We can go through it together. Currently had 2 weeks off of complete training and diet, went away. But now we've come back, obviously to start the new year, and we're going to get back into it. So I'm going to be a little bit weak. You're going to see me as I progress over the next few weeks, getting stronger, getting back to where I was and further than that, getting above where I was before. We're going to make some big progress this year. That's the goal at the end of the day. And I want to take you guys on that journey with me. So we're going to do just that. I don't see many people in Australia making like YouTube videos very regularly when it comes to training, diet, bodybuilding, personal training, coaching, all that kind of business. So I kind of want to make a change to that, and I'm hoping I can be the guy to do that. I'm hoping you guys will like these videos. If there's any questions and stuff like that, I always want you guys to make contact with me and ask me questions in the comments or DM me, anything like that. I'm a coach myself, so I do have a bit of knowledge when it comes to diet, training, and supplements, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. Anyway, we're going to get into it. I'm on the way to the gym now. We're training at Metroflex. That's the current home base. Metroflex in Kirrawee, Sydney, New South Wales. That's where we reside over here. So, I want to do that. Take you through. I actually forgotten what the routine is. I think it starts off with like pull-ups of some sort. Then we go into a single arm row, lat focused, and then I think it's a chest supported row. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. A chest supported row, and then lat pull down, and then a pull over, something like that. Definitely goes in that order. And then at the end, we'll just do like a set of bicep curls, just to get some blood in there. I did chest yesterday, chest, shoulders, triceps, and I'm fucking burning. Like everything just fucking kills. After 2 weeks off, you just don't realize how much of a pussy you are when it comes to weights. But we've been back on the diet and food since yesterday, actually since the day before, so today's Tuesday. So we got back on Saturday, been back on the diet since Sunday, working my way back up to the 5,000 plus calories I've been eating prior. So we're currently probably sitting at around 4,500 calories. And I guess within the next week, I'll be back up to around 5,000 plus. So we're just kind of handling that and see how the body changes, my friends. Stay tuned. All right, boys and girls, I just recorded a little intro, but it's been deleted somehow. So we're going to redo that. It's time to dry scoop some pre-workout, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Pre-workout of choice today, we're just going for a pump product, Ghost. So we got that bad boy there, Ghost Sour Strips. This is actually pretty gun, I'm not going to lie. Definitely tastes like sour strips. You know when like you get like a product and it tastes like ass? It's like, oh, it's supposed to be like, I don't know, Rainbow Burst. Fucking, what does Rainbow Burst taste like? I don't know, you tell me. I haven't tasted a rainbow. I don't know if you guys have, but I genuinely haven't tasted a rainbow. And usually the rainbows taste like shit. But this is pretty good. So we're going to be opting for this, just a pump. We don't need caffeine today. Makes me crap my pants, so we're trying to avoid that. Down the hatch, we got this bad boy. This is my intra. So we got 70 grams of carbs and 1 scoop of EAAs in here using Amino Z. So if you want products, you use these bad boys, okay? We got 20% off. Use the code A-GMAX on store-wide. So don't be an idiot. Use it. All right. Oh, God. Yeah, it's sour. But it's not overly sour, despite my facial expressions. It's actually quite nice. So we're going to be doing that. I'll go from here. or drink one of these intra and post workout. Let's get to business. All right, ladies and gents. So today we starting off with what I mentioned before, which was actually I mentioned that we were going to do pull-ups first, but that was being used. So as it's kind of my first week getting back into training and everything like that, I didn't really feel too fussy. I just wanted to get some blood in the muscles and follow my routine somewhat as close as possible. So I wasn't fussed. I picked up the pull down machine, and we're going to be using a neutral grip about shoulder width or just slightly inside, and we're going to be trying to get those elbows back and squeezing through and down into the ground. This lat pull down here is a little bit different. The way it's set up, the cable is like directly above your head, so I kind of have to sit back a little bit. That's why I'm kind of leaning back a little bit to pull into the ground. But you can't really tell in this video anyway, so anyway, it just looks like a normal lat pull down to you guys. After this, we're going to be doing, that's my first set obviously, so I'm going to be doing that the second time because I do all my sets pretty much 2 times. A top set and kind of like a back off set, or if you want to look at the 2 top sets, it doesn't really matter, they're both to failure. In some exercises I do 3 sets. It's not really a big whoop or anything like that. I mean, as long as you're training to failure, realistically, doesn't matter how many sets you're going to be doing per exercise. Although obviously if you're doing lesser sets per exercise, you're going to be wanting more exercises to make sure that you're hitting the necessary volume to obviously grow week to week for your body. And everyone's different there, right? There's obviously some guidelines, but a rough, like, let's say 10 working hard sets per muscle group per week is going to give you the stimulus that you need for most people and for most muscle groups. Some people need less sets to grow depending on their genetics, you know, like for example my arms just they've always been a bit of a strong point for me for whatever reason. I'm not too sure why. I think it's just genetics for me, or maybe I just get a better contraction with them than I always have from when I was younger too. I'm not too sure, but they've always responded well for me, so I've never really had to do crazy amounts of sets. But for the most part, yeah, I still train everything the same. All to failure, and that's what matters. Get your food in, hitting your failure, being consistent week to week. That's how you're going to grow. Now, after this, we've got, what do we call these? DY rows, so Dorian Yates rows. So this is obviously a machine that has been made famous by the great Dorian Yates himself. He really loved underhand rowing movements to contract the lats really nicely, and I can definitely tell you this one hits the fucking lats pretty hard. So what I'm trying to do here is just kind of keep my chest up, and I'm pulling elbow to my side and pulling into my hip. So I'm not really getting the elbow way back past my body, because if you're hitting your lats, you don't really need to get those elbows way past your body, because you kind of lose that contraction on the lat, and you're going to be getting a lot more kind of like rhomboid trap work done. If you want to really focus in on that lat, go heavy and keeping that elbow close to the body and pulling into your hip. That's the best way you're going to be hitting the lats, in my opinion. So yeah, essentially that's what we're doing on this exercise. Same thing, we've got 2 sets, both to failure. I'm not really worrying about rep ranges on this week, because like I said, I'm just kind of getting back into the swing of things and getting back up to the weights that I was doing prior to taking my 2 weeks off. Now, I'm kind of aiming between 8 to 15 reps each set. It just depends. I'm just feeling out the weights and just going with that. Once I'm getting close to failure or just hitting about failure, I'm just just dropping the weights then. Because if I absolutely kill myself this week, it's going to take forever for me to recover, and it's really unnecessary. So I'm just kind of familiarizing myself with the weights for the next week or 2, and then by the 3rd week I should be back at kind of what I was doing beforehand. Now I guess one thing I could probably talk on here is how people train their back. So majority of the time, I feel like people are pulling a lot with their arms. Now, one of the tips that I like to kind of tell my clients is use your hand as a hook and pull through your elbow, right? Doing that is really going to get you a better contraction in your back instead of pulling so much with your forearms that you're just getting a full bicep workout, right? Now, what I recommend to use to remedy the issue of grip strength is these Versa grips that I'm wearing that you can see on my wrists while I'm doing my back exercises. It wraps around and it pulls you nicely and tightly into the bar that you're holding. So that way you're just leveraging, you're basically just taking all of the grip strength out of it. Not all of it, but obviously a fair bit of it, and just allowing you to pull through that elbow a lot better. It's just one of those things that, like, yeah, a lot of people just don't have good backs, and I find that that's one of the reasons. If I'm training my traps and rhomboids, contrary to what I said before, when training the lat, I like to kind of keep elbows close to me and pull into the hip. Whereas if I'm training traps, rhomboids, I'm trying to get a big, thick back, I really want to pull with my elbow past my back, obviously. So you should see actually in this exercise, we've got some T-bar rows assisted. You should see me, I'm getting my elbows back behind my body and pulling as high to the ceiling as I can, right? That's going to get that nice contraction in your back, and that's what's going to give you that thickness that you need to actually have a good looking back. Now I'm going for a wider grip here because I'm going to be hitting those rhomboids traps, upper back area a lot better. I'm keeping my chest up against the pad. Now a lot of the time you see people's chests, they lift right off the pad a lot. And that's just going to give you subpar results. I mean, if you really want to train your back, you want to isolate things, you want to keep that chest onto the pad. It's hard to explain, but you can see how I'm performing it here. My chest is coming off a touch, but it's only coming off because I'm pulling my elbows back behind my body. If I keep my chest way too high off the pad, yeah, you're going to limit that range of motion. You're not going to get as good of a contraction in your back. Whereas if you kind of keep it onto the pad, but keep that chest high, right, then it's going to allow you to get those elbows behind your body a lot better, and that's what's going to give you that that thickness that you all want if you want a nice, big, juicy back. Here I've just sped it up because I kind of thought it was pretty ridiculous. What the fuck am I doing? It's funny watching yourself back on camera to see what you do in between sets, because I just do the fucking wackiest shit, I swear to God. I mean, everyone does it, but like, I'm playing with my fingers and shit like that, listening to my heavy metal. And I'm getting, I don't know, man. I thought that was pretty wacko. So, we're gonna go for another set here now. Continue on from where we were before, the exact same thing. I've added another 10 kilos to this exercise. We're doing a little bit heavier because I found that weight that I was doing before actually felt quite good. So on that second set, I'm gonna go for slightly higher weight, just an extra 10 kilos, and try aim for the same number of reps. Or if I don't hit the same number of reps, I still want those quality reps in there, right? And yeah, just see how I perform this, and I want you to perform the exact same way. Now here we've got assisted pull-ups. So this is what I was supposed to do at the start of the workout, but like I mentioned, it was being used before, so I just kind of swapped the first and the last exercise out, just swap them around. So we're doing the same thing with a neutral kind of grip, keeping those elbows closer to the body, obviously pulling down into the ground, chest up high. That's how you want to be hitting those lats in this exercise. Perform it the exact same way that I'm doing it. If you want to know how to, it's just exactly that, really. Just keeping that chest up high, pulling those elbows down to the ground. Once again, using my hands as hooks and pulling through my elbows, and my form stays the same all the way from the first rep to the last rep, and that's how you know you're doing it right. To be completely honest, I don't know what the fuck I was doing here. I look like a bit of a nutcase. What an angle. I'm really capturing my good angles here today. I'm just rocking out to my music. Yeah, dude. Yeah, sick, dude. Bro, what am I doing? I don't know. Anyway, same thing. Second set, I made the weight slightly lighter so that I was able to get a few more reps as well. But once again, by this time, I was pretty fatigued, to be honest. So I was just controlling the eccentric, get a bit of a squeeze at the top, getting a full stretch through the lat, and just rinse and repeat. That's pretty much it. The second last exercise we've got here is the pullover machine, the Nautilus pullover machine. So if any of you know some bodybuilding history, you know your boy Dorian Yates was a big proponent of this one, and I myself fucking love it. It's such a good contraction. There's different ways to do it, like hands facing towards you or hands facing away from you. People use the pads that are underneath my elbows, but truth be told, my arms just aren't long enough to even reach them. So what we're doing is just keeping the hands facing away from me because I feel it better through my lat by doing that. And everything stays rigid, right? The only thing that's moving is obviously my shoulder girdle, allowing myself to get a nice controlled stretch through the lat from top to bottom. I'm just kind of resetting myself, just trying to find what's comfortable in terms of hand positioning there. But we want to be pulling through, just as I am. Same thing, same concept, hands as a hook, pull through your elbows. That's what I'm doing here. It's hard to tell in a video, but that's definitely what I'm doing here. That's how you want to, like I said, I want to stress this. You want to be pulling through those elbows. It's probably the most important thing when it comes to training back. So many people overlook it and don't understand its importance, but I don't want you guys to overlook it. I want you guys to understand that. So I'm obviously pushing myself to failure, and we're just trying to get that little half rep out, get a nice controlled stretch on the way down. And yeah, that fucking hurt, obviously. It's such a good pump though. The thing is that a lot of gyms don't have this kind of equipment. I'm grateful to be training where I am at Metroflex because it's the owner and the people there, they just know what's good for bodybuilders. And for people in general that just want to get stronger, get bigger, all the equipment is so much better than your normal Gen Pop gym like Anytime Fitness and Crunch and stuff like that, because they actually put effort and they actually have love and care for their members over here at Metro, as opposed to other, like I said, commercial gyms. It's commercial. It's in the name. They want you for your money for the most part. And it is what it is, but it's sad, they make the most money out of everyone, but they just don't choose to put that money into the equipment to serve the people that actually go there and pay them that money to be using that equipment, which kind of pisses me off. But I understand not everyone's a bodybuilder. Not many people understand the difference in equipment and stuff like that and its importance, but anyway, a bit of a passionate one. That one was, sorry on my behalf. Going on a little bit of a tangent. Well, once again, with my second set, I went, I think, a little bit heavier on this one, just to feel it out, just to see. It was a weight that I haven't done before, but it actually felt quite good. So I'm going to continue with this weight from next week too. And that's all she wrote. That's back day, guys. We have one exercise of biceps after this, so you're going to see that. So I just decided to finish off with some hammer curls, on the dumbbells. Just feeling it out. I think I was kind of fatigued by this point because it was kind of hard to get a pump in my biceps after all that. But I digress. We still went and gave it a crack. Obviously, the weight that I picked there was a bit too light, so we've picked an extra 2 kilos heavier than the previous weight. So I went to 18 kilos, or was it 20? I can't remember. Doesn't matter. And we're going to be hammer curling this. So obviously, same thing. A lot of people on the hammer curl, they don't squeeze at the top. Now that's where you've got the most tension coming through on the muscle that you're training. And that goes with a lot of exercises. A lot of people don't hold the weight where they're meant to hold it. They just kind of throw it around and stuff like that, and they wonder why their arms or a certain body part isn't growing. It's because they're not keeping tension on that muscle at its hardest point, right? And that's where this is here. The hardest point is being able to hold it at the top and getting that squeeze through the brachialis and the bicep. That's how your arms are going to grow. If you want big arms, I've made multiple videos about it on my Instagram. I preach about it all the time. You want to be holding at those contracted positions and stretch all the way down, control. Stop pussyfooting around and making things easy for yourself, because that's not what's going to get you big at the end of the day, If you want to be big, if you want to put on muscle, if you want to get better, if you want to get stronger, you have to put yourself through those hard reps every day, and that's as simple as it is. I don't know why so many people shy away from it, because at the end of the day, you're doing yourself a disservice if you're going to the gym and you're training your ass off, what you think is training your ass off, and you're getting no results out of it or subpar results because you're cheating yourself. You know, I just don't see the point in that. You're putting all this time and effort and money into the way you look, and into your health, and it's just not paying off because you're doing the wrong things. You're doing the easy things wrong. And that's why it's good to have a good coach, someone that actually cares, and someone that actually knows what they're doing, that has failed and learnt, all right, and not always just had good genetics and just everything's just grown. They've learned things, they've studied things over the years, new information that always comes out, they're always on top of it. That's a lot of the things that I see these days with a lot of coaches is that just don't give a shit. And it saddens me because a lot of them have a really big client base, and their clients will get results because at the end of the day, if you give someone a training plan and they've never trained before, they're going to grow, right? It's just called newbie gains, right? But if you want to see, you know, good results and you've been training for a while, find yourself a good coach, find yourself someone that cares. I'm not saying it has to be me. It'd be lovely if it was me. I'd be happy to help. But it doesn't have to be me. It has to be someone that actually gives a crap. And to know that, you have to be able to talk to that coach and find out how they are. If you can connect with them on a deeper level, I think all that stuff's important. So I've got a bit of a juicy pump, and that's about it. Take a look at my juicy pump at the end of the workout, and I'll leave you with an outro after this little montage. Fucked. Okay, forgot to do an outro, so we'll be doing an outro now. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you've learned something. That's about it, really. Hope it was entertaining. If you want more of these, let me know, and I'll be sure to do more. Because I'm not going to be wasting my time if you guys don't like it. So if you do like, give it a like, give it a comment, message me, DM me. If you have any questions regarding supplements, training, diet, all that kind of stuff, DM me on Instagram as well, which will be in the description below. And let's go from there. Next day I'll be posting, probably will be maybe a push or legs. We'll see what I'm feeling. Let's go from there. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Speak to you later. Peace.